I'm just spitting. Yeah, I'm just spitting. I'm just spitting. This shit have been on my mind for quite some time. I gotta put the shit on the line. I'm just spitting. Yeah, I'm just spitting.
Welcome back, all the way the heck back.
We all here.
Everybody's in the building. Everybody, literally.
Love it.
Hey man, if it's your first time, your 159th time,
145, baby.
76th time.
Rolling.
We are the Dropping Dymes Podcast. My name is Byron.
I'm Wallace. And we got a special guest today. And I'm going to introduce here in a second.
Baby, that's a special guest.
Yeah, he
And
is a little
this
special.
is a little B-roll, in case y'all ain't know. But man, yeah, like they said, we got a super special guest today. But before we jump into that, swing by www.droppingdymes.com, Dimes with a Y.
With a Y, baby.
Hey, if you get a chance, pick up some merch. We got shirts. We got hats. We got toasters.
Summertime coming, man.
We figured out a way to get them toaster ovens. We're going to shoot them through Vietnam. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with
and it's going to come back all the way around.
Working.
And I figured out a way to save you some money.
And then come to us. So we're going to get them toaster ovens to you. We're looking at couch covers. So we're looking at the Dropping Dymes couch covers.
Well, hey, man, creative, ain't
we taking it up a notch going into this next season.
Get ready, man.
Yeah, also, if you're watching us, subscribe, share, comment, hit the bell.
Yep.
Hey, stuff coming. If you're not watching us and you're listening to us because you're driving or something like that, man, we want y'all to stay safe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts.
Bang.
We all over the place. We all over social media as well. Dropping Dymes Podcast. We on Instagram. We on the TikTok-y. We on the Facebook for your aunties.
Ain't nobody dancing yet, though.
Everybody. Yeah, we're going to get Wallace dancing because he's a dance
machine, baby. Y'all don't even know.
I didn't know that.
If y'all wait to see that.
I ain't surprised.
Y'all wait to see
It's
that.
a sight to see, man.
Yeah, man. It's something. So we got that coming. But yeah, like I said, Facebook for your aunties and your moms and your grandmas because that's where the family is, right?
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe,
hey man,
hit the bell.
Hit that bell.
Tell your friends to tell their friends.
About your friends.
So we can all be friends.
Let's go to work.
Let's get to work, baby.
That's every weekend.
Every weekend.
Is that all right?
Hey, but look, I know y'all been looking at my man, trying to figure out who this is. We got a special guest, I told you. Let me do my thing because the guys that I bring out here is really I'm going to call it a supernatural connection because when I went to North Carolina A&T as a walk-on, I stepped on campus, and honestly, we weren't in the best situation, but there was a voice. There was a voice in the locker room, and it was in every space. Whether it was the guys joking around, there was a voice. Or it was a guy in leadership, there was a voice. In the weight room, there was a voice. In the leadership or the organization of sports as a whole on campus, there was a voice. And it was Tim Shropshire. I walked in, middle linebacker, and the first thing I realized is that's what leadership looks like to me. Is I'm connected with the guys in the lowest moments, in the best moments, and I'm going to be with them, and they're going to know that I'm with them. So I looked at Shrop from the moment I stepped on site. I was like, I want some of him in me by the time I get out of here.
That's it.
I looked at him, and even though I didn't have 4 years to be around him, the little time I did have with you, brother, I learned so much. I even tried to, I'm naturally an introvert, but being able to see you and how you connected with guys, I tried to use that when younger guys came in.
Yeah.
Try to meet them at the level they are. Are they comedians? Are they trying to progress in life? I used that because you connected with me, and you ain't know nothing about this kid from Atlanta, walk-on kicker.
Nope.
But you stepped to me as a leader.
Yeah.
So I've always seen that you stepped out into the world and have brought your voice, which also people don't realize it's not just a voice, it's a mind. You brought a mind to the world to give them a chance to step outside of whatever troubles and tribulations they're going through, to be able to laugh at whatever you've experienced, that they can connect with it in their life, and then take that feeling, that happiness, that joy into the world. So I'm excited to have you. We've been talking about it probably for 2 years, but things have aligned, and it wasn't even perfect. We just figured it out.
Make it happen.
So we appreciate you stepping to us, being able to join and make some time for us in your busy schedule. We're gonna talk to you about the reason he's in Atlanta, Georgia right now.
Yeah.
But I want to introduce you to my brother, Tim Shropshire.
Hey, man. Hey, one thing y'all ain't gonna have me do is crying on this show. Come on,
Why
man.
not, man?
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, we here to
I
talk,
appreciate you,
man.
man. I love it, man. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
And if y'all can't tell, we definitely in the new studio.
Come on now.
We
one time only.
New stuff.
Special occasion.
Special occasion. My
Come
man
on.
Tim to come through.
Hey, they cutting up over here.
So we got these special drinking glasses.
Mason jar, they taking the country now. That's what I'm like. Man.
This might not even be water. Y'all never know.
You know, it get hot when it get to my house. You know? But no, Sharp, I like to always give our guests the opportunity to, if it's nothing that I didn't say, that you have an opportunity to introduce yourself to the people.
Man, you hit, and also you showing an angle that I sometimes don't even see. So even that's dope. Even saying that, man. I'm just a kid from Fayetteville, North Carolina. You know, and Fayetteville.
Vietnam, man.
Yeah.
You made it out.
You know, I'm come from a faith-filled home, and and it was football and church. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it growing up. You know, faith and football, as they say. So that was it, man. So and we here now doing comedy now. You know, and just, but being what this image right here, this is my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Dad.
it's loving on the babies, man.
Yeah.
It's loving on the babies. Like the best hood to be in is fatherhood, man. So make sure the wifey's good, make sure the baby's good, and it's knowing that everything you're doing is of purpose, everything. So the fact that I'm here, because I was like, man, like you said, we got to figure out a way.
Yeah.
I can't be on doing. I was like, every time I look at your podcast, I'm like, oh heck, no. I said, oh shoot, I got to figure out something. I got to get down there. I got to link up with my brother, because one, I love what y'all doing, man.
Appreciate
and you all, and the name of the game in social media, with anything, but as far as anything media, is consistency. And y'all definitely, man, just seeing what y'all do and being consistent with it, and not on no crazy major platform, and you still show up. That lets you know, like, it's true passion. It shows you what's motivated. So I had to pull up, man. Glad to be here, man.
I appreciate you recognizing me, man, because we honestly sat down with a young lady who's about to start her podcast, and one of the things we were trying to tell her is, like, if you get 3 views,
Just do it.
show up for the reason that you started it.
Yep.
And that's one thing that we've preached to ourselves, is just show up, be consistent for the reason that we started.
Yep.
And it's just really the growth of ourselves, but then also the growth of the network that we're able to reach out to.
Yep.
So I'm glad you were able to see that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Because we do sometimes have like 6 views.
Hey, it's all good.
Gotta show up next week.
Hey, that'll test you right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what's up, man.
Why comedy, bro? Like,
Listen, that was gonna be my first question.
yeah, why comedy?
How do we get into that?
Like church,
Yeah,
football, went to school.
yeah.
What was your major?
I was sports science.
Sports science.
I chose that just to play football.
Yeah.
I was like, anything close to sports. You know what I'm saying? And still about flunked out of that. But no, so why comedy?
Yeah.
I didn't choose comedy. Comedy chose me, man. And that's where I'm able to rest in it. And it's like, I know that we're going to be fine. Because, I know God called me to this. And, I was, probably like, I don't know how you all were for football. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't care about nothing else. Yeah. I didn't care about no major. I didn't care about no school. I just want to play ball. Like that's it. I just want to play football. I had no career desires.
Right.
I mean, I made up some for people.
Of course.
I said I was gonna go computer science.
Of course.
I didn't know what computer science was.
I was going to be a police officer.
Dude, I had.
This shit makes so much sense now.
Right. I didn't know what I wanted to become, what I wanted to do. And it wasn't until I got hurt that it was like the wake up, and when I got hurt my sophomore year at T, I didn't know what I was going to do. I couldn't play 5 games, and that was enough to like rattle my brain, because that's the first time since I was 5 years old that I didn't play football.
Yeah.
So that messed me up.
Yeah.
And you can see your boys playing. So I kind of went.
And
I don't know
getting
if it was
too.
right. I don't know if it was depression or what, but I didn't handle it well. So I went to class. I didn't do my work.
Yeah.
And so, but in that process, I started going to church. You know, like just like being like more committed and all that good stuff. And I read my pastor's book called Understanding Your Divine Calling. And I read that and it rattled me and then dropped my thinking of what do you want to do with your life? And then, you know, they asked a practical question, like, what are you good at and what do you like to do? And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't thinking about this part, but I ain't really been asked that question. I said, I love playing football and I love making people laugh.
Yeah.
I said, if I can do it for the rest of my life, I'm fine. And I knew that I was playing ball, so I was like, well, we doing football. I was like, what's up with this making people laugh thing? Like, wow. So that was the first time that got like awakened in me as far as like pursuing something.
Really?
And I was like, and again, this is me being honest.
Yeah.
You know, I know I could say lawyer or doctor or this. It sounds good, fireman, all.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I'm gonna be honest, I just want to make people laugh. Then, so I was just on this journey of what are the careers that making people laugh? So do I become an actor, become a host? And I don't even know if stand-up even crossed my mind. Mm-hmm. I was in church one Sunday and the pastor was preaching Answer the Call. That's what he was talking like more like salvation.
Yeah.
But I took it as a call to like, you know, like purpose to pursue. So he preaching and I just see a vision. And it's like a lower deck of people. I look back on it now, it was a theater. So it's a lower deck of people than an upper deck of people. It was a stage. I was holding the mic, wearing a black suit with a white shirt, and I felt it like stand-up comedy. It was the weirdest thing I ain't never ever had. I ain't never had visions or nothing.
Really?
Like, dude, I broke down crying like, what the heck just happened? Like, man. Yeah. And I just went to the front. I was like, boom. They're like, you give your life to God. I said, I already did, but I'm about to do some jokes. I don't know what. And so that started that journey. And I think I hosted something at my church one time, and that ended up opening the door for me to getting booked for like little parties. But it was really interesting and weird because I would get booked for 2 events every month for a year. Mm-hmm. It could get like to the 20th of the month, and I didn't get no booking.
And I get two.
I was like, this is like weird. No business card, no website, no nothing. They'll just call. But now they want no fancy show. This is like, you know, you turn 85. I was up in that, you know, in the nursing home, which is, you know, jokes and applesauce too. And that's what I always say.
Did they respond?
Man, the best they could. Yeah, the best they could. You know, so it was always little.
Tanks next to work.
So it was all little, you know, birthday parties, but it was just something consistent. I did it for a year, and then and then again, this is 2000. Now this is like 2008, 2009, mm-hmm. like so right when I'm finishing ball, like when we kind of got into like doing shows and stuff, and then it just, you know, went into like, hey, let's create a name for it. Let's call it Tim Shrop Comedy, and let's just do it. And I just started doing churches, just boom, 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 because that's who was calling me.
Yeah.
And we just did that, and then we did that for another 5 years. And then it was going pretty good, but I was working at A&T doing recruiting.
I remember that.
So I was a admissions counselor there for 5 years.
So you were doing comedy throughout all of that?
Yep.
08, 09, were you still playing?
Yeah, 08, I finished December 08.
Okay.
So I like went all in like 2009.
Yeah.
So like my first show was like summer 2008.
Why you didn't tell your boys?
Probably because I didn't want y'all to hear
I
it.
bet.
I was fun in the locker room.
Hey, this close to the heart.
I was fun in the locker room.
Yeah, it's different on that stage.
Listen, it's the same thing. Like the first time y'all come in and say anything.
Yep. Done. Yep. Because my first show was at Greensboro College.
Really?
It was for their Greek night.
Okay.
And I was supposed to host, but the host ended up coming back because they didn't have a host. Then they ended up getting a host. So I was like, well, we need somebody to do stand-up comedy. Mm-hmm. And that was the second time I heard like the stand-up. I'm like, oh, I remember the vision.
Yeah.
Like stand-up comedy. I'm like, oh crap. So I was supposed to do 15 minutes. I was 4 minutes in. I was telling this joke about how different races give directions. Like this is how white people get direction. This is how black people get direction. Then I was like, this is how a Mexican man get direction.
Yeah.
It didn't come out right. And somebody was like, what? What did he say? And I was like, that's my time. And I left. She's like, you want your check? I said, mail it to me. But I said, you got about 10 minutes. I said, I'm good. And I was like, this ain't it.
Y'all feel it with silence.
And I was like, I know this is not it. Like, and I was like, I must have missed something. And it wasn't until a guy checked me and was like, man, the reason why you ain't doing stand-up, I kind of paused for a little bit. And he was like, man, the reason why you ain't doing stand-up is because you're scared. And I was like, yeah, that's true. So, I just got back into it and just started going after it. And so, 2004, I think when I coach, is it McKenzie?
McKenzie.
McKenzie.
Forward.
Yes. I remember him always telling us that. He was like,
coordinator.
I don't know how true it is, but it resonated with me. But he was like, whatever career that you like have after college, you probably gonna stay in that career, in that field. And I was like, really? And I was working in admissions. And I always knew in admissions or just higher ed, the area that I was in, they were like, your transition time should be about 3 or 4 years in that. Then you should move up into higher ed.
Yeah.
And so I know I hit that 4th year. And I was like, either you gonna stay or in admissions or in higher ed, or we gonna go and trust God and do this comedy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot. And we just had our daughter 2014 in March.
She got real.
And I was like, man, then they messed around and gave me 12 weeks of paid leave. I said, oh shoot. So I'm home.
That's all right.
Man, what? Who you telling, bro? So I'm at the house, but I just told her, and we went back to work that summer. I probably said another about 4 weeks, 3 weeks. And I was like, we gone. So by August I was out. And I remember I got like $2,400 a month. So I was like,
I can make that.
We can make this.
Yeah.
I said, God, I believe you bigger than that check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go for it. And we did good for about 3 months. Then it got real. I said, oh shoot, can I go back? But we just kept like never really looked back, you know, and just started just going all in with comedy and learning and errors and high moments, low moments, and all that stuff. And we here now. So.
Hey, look, because I actually want to get into that, but I do want to go back to because I actually I forgot that I went back to A&T and I spoke at the athletic dinner award ceremony. Mm-hmm. And after I spoke, I don't know if you remember this, but you found me when I'm walking through and you stopped and told me, bro, your voice is powerful.
Really?
You need to lean into this. It was in the back of the ceremony in the room. And you came over there and stopped and talked to me and said that. And you were the birth of me wanting to be a public speaker, motivational speaker, all of that kind of stuff. But it was really the birth of me connecting with my voice. Because I really never wanted to talk. I never wanted to have to be out there. Sometimes I had to just because I was a leader, but I never really wanted to give my voice out to the world. But honestly, that moment is what it drove me to start writing. It drove me to start practicing. It drove me to start speaking. But now what I'm getting to is I started to do a couple little things a year. And I went to Enoch School last year, maybe 2 years ago. And he's the athletic director. He came on the show.
I gotta get down there.
Yeah, he does a great thing going. A great thing going.
Yeah, I see.
But I went up there. Go ahead.
Recently, you got the athletic director of the year.
He got a great thing going. Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
But I went up there. We're in this gymnasium, and I'm like, I got all my jerseys from Edmonton, Toronto, Detroit, A&T. I got a painting that this man did of me, and I'm going up there. I'm like, I'm about to kill it to him. I'm about to get to him. Man, I went up there. I did like probably 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm like, it ain't hitting. It ain't hitting.
Yep.
And I ended it real quick. I was probably up there 8 minutes total. And he wanted 25, so my bad, dog.
He said, my bad, not.
But I probably felt like you felt in that moment of them 4 minutes in, oh shit.
Yep,
am I really meant for this?
Dog.
My question to you is, and it'll help me because I do think I am scared to get back out there to make it a real thing. How did you go from I'm scared this may not be it to stepping out there and then making it a career mentally? What did you have to go through?
I think the biggest thing, you had those moments. I think for me, one, knowing that you called to do it, like that helps more than anything.
Yeah.
Because that's that thing that won't let you rest in that fear. It's like when you sleep at night saying I didn't give up on this dream. Like, no, I got this weight underneath me that's letting me know, like, okay, you can sleep all you want to, but I'm gonna let you know I'm here when you wake up.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
And get through that. And if you can go to bed and not feel that, then probably it ain't meant to be.
Yeah.
It's probably just something that you was trying to try.
Yeah.
And then also too, the word talks about, Bible talks about like, steps of a righteous man in order. And I believe that is even your relationships. Like, and so I feel like my environment won't
push you towards it.
I'm looking at these trees that are behind me, and I'm like, these trees have to grow because of its environment that it's in.
Right.
Like if it was probably standing on its own, it probably won't grow the way it you know is growing now. However, or it shaped the way it's shaped.
That's why you don't see a tree sitting out by itself,
right?
Unless man-made, man affected.
So that helps me more than anything. Like I feel like I have a design environment around me that I really didn't handpick.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily this entourage of people, but these people who are strategically placed in my life to kind of help guide me along the way, this path. So even when I feel off, Wallace will remind me, you know, my brother will remind me, you know, my God, so something will remind me of like keeping you on that, like you said, that path to guide you along the way. And so that's what does it. And I will have to like uproot everything that I come across and like sabotage everything in order to not do what I'm called to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's placed along each mile, each thing to let you know like, hey, boom, hey, bro, boom. And I still today, I mean, I've been doing stand up for so he said what, 2008? So what's that? 17 years? So I've had that because I still have those moments sometimes of like just moments that I need certain people in my life that I didn't even know that may just have this random conversation of just to help guide you along the way. So that's what helps. Even when my mind is not strong enough to like to walk in the fullness of this calling or this flying field, you know. And now, like, you know, it's one thing to do, you know, comedy the way I was doing it. Like I was doing churches, you know, which is dope. It's just really cool and a cool space to be in.
Right.
Now we doing clubs. And so now it's about ticket sales and numbers and shooting a special and now getting that special picked up. And it's like, oh, we in another league now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, it's a different approach because it's business now. It was business before, but this really business right here.
Yeah.
Like this different. This ain't this. You got to get your. We talked earlier. Like you got to get your own hotel, your own flights, and you got to market and sell and push yourself. Like it's different. You know. Yeah. So you know, just having that environment really helped me to get, you know, where, you know, if I am scared, if I am fearful, if I have those doubts, if I ever say that, you know, and then my wife, you know, that's still your environment, you know, being connected with the right person, right brothers and your lady, you know, like that helped. Like I got a wife and 4 kids and the bank account looked low and I was like, hey, I know you see what we see. Like I probably need to go back and get a job. Yeah. Why would you do that? That's what she told me.
That's what she said to you?
She was like, why would you go backwards?
Man, listen,
and I'm like, you don't see the account? Why would you go backwards? Figure it out. Let's go.
Ain't nothing like the people around you having the same vision you got, boy.
Dude, that changed everything. Like when your wife see it, and I'm like, oh shoot, we got to go for it. Like that ain't no turning back. Like we got to figure it out. We're going to make a way. So I think that. So one, having that knowing of that's what I'm supposed to be, and then 2, just embracing the environment that you in. So that's that.
I think one of the biggest things you said was that environment. Like it'll get to I can speak from experience. It'll be times when there's people you don't even know.
That's
like
it.
Complete strangers walk up, hey man, your face look familiar, yada yada yada, and before you know it, you having a like and you still don't know them.
Yeah.
I had a lady came. This one I was selling mattresses, bro.
Yeah.
This lady came to my store. She said, look, I don't even live this way, but God told me to come in here and talk to you.
Come on, bro.
She said, I know this is gonna sound crazy. I said, it ain't. It ain't because of the way my face set up, it's not.
To us others, it sounds crazy.
You be like, thank you, man. Yeah. Have a good day and be safe. That lady said, I had a dream, and she went into this whole dream. She described people who were in my family who had passed.
Yeah.
And she was like, when you started to go off the path, I was looking back, and they said, don't go back and help him. Just kind of wait for him. And when he catch up, just kind of help him. as much as you can. But don't go back and help him because he'll get comfortable. I was like, gotcha. Yeah, because this, again, I don't know this lady don't know me from a can of paint. And she was like, look, I know this is going to sound crazy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Because for me, it'll be times when I started to get discouraged. And I'm like, I know what I'm good at.
Right.
I know what I can go back
and that can be comfortable.
You know what I'm saying? I can get real comfortable with that.
Yep.
But like I also know that he knows me. So he know like, man, let me get to this nigga right quick because I know where he will go.
Yep, there it is.
I can't keep saving him from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So just your environment. Sometimes it's complete strangers.
Yep.
Sometimes it's the closest people to you.
Yep.
It can be your tree. Your tree.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And standing, keeping you lean because you get discouraged, bro. It's easy to get discouraged.
Man,
Think
easy.
about it. Like you said, go on stage. Ain't none of this shit hitting.
Man, bro.
And 4 minutes in,
Yeah.
and these folks say you owe me.
Yeah, no.
You owe me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You damn near owe us money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For going on stage and walking
Yeah.
out. So, bro, had the right environment that them people that keep you standing up straight.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, being real for me, like it could be material. It could be now, like again on the business side.
Yeah.
You got the material, you got the 45 minutes, you got the hour down pat, but now you can't sell 40 tickets. So it's like now you feel like a failure in that. You're like, what in the world? You get discouraged. Like, let me go back to comfort.
Yeah.
Let me go back to doing these churches where I don't need a crowd. I don't need 20 people. I don't need 200. It's a budget.
Yeah.
That I know I'm getting a guaranteed check versus because I know this is going to the crib. Like we can't play no games no more.
Yeah.
Like so we got to so now you mean to tell me we're 5-6 hours away from the crib and you only got 40 people coming to a show. I think you came to a show. I remember. Did you come to the show?
Yep.
The one.
Me, Colbert, Bill, my wife. And I think it was 2 other people in there.
You remember that show?
Yeah.
Bro, that was it.
It was like 6 of us.
It was 6 in the show.
In a whole comedy
joint. I'm like, oh God. And I was like.
He did his whole hour.
I was like, oh shoot. And so like, man, you feel like a failure.
Yeah.
You know, because you're like, this is the name of the game. And then you are who you are based on your ticket sales.
Yeah.
Like, are you almost like, are you serious? Are you an investment for us?
Exactly.
Because it costs us more to have you here.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we got 2 people on the door. We got security. We got a DJ. We got 5 servers. We got 2 cooks. We got rent. All paying just so you could bring 6 people.
Yeah.
So it's like, nah, you ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Nah, you're not a good investment.
So let me ask you this, because when you were saying the comfort, I was thinking about you. Like it's probably comfortable, and it's 160,000 churches in America.
Yeah.
That you could go run up
I
and
was
all the way
literally about to
across.
say,
Yeah.
like, it
What
could be
made
easy.
you want to step out into an industry that may not recognize you in the near time, and you need the support to take home to the crib?
Yep.
What made you say, all right, I know I'm comfortable here, but I need to step out into this next lane?
Going back to what I said before, environment. Those people in your path, in your life, the Darren Brands, the DeMar Rankins, to the Mark Gregories, that didn't know that they were all saying the same thing to me.
At different spaces,
different spaces, different times.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, we need to get in these clubs.
That push.
I'm like, man, did y'all have a conference call?
Yeah.
Hey, and then,
plotting on you.
right. Boom, talking to them, boom, hey man, what's up? Why don't you get in these clubs? Oh, and I was like, man, I said, am I running away from clubs? Am I comfortable? Like what? I was in Brooklyn, did a show at a church. They was rolling.
Yeah.
But Mark Gregory is the nephew to Dick Gregory.
Okay.
So Dick Gregory's uncle. So he's so he was the crowd's rolling. He sit on the side. Mark sit on the side. He's unfazed. I'm like, what the heck? And I talked to him after, like, what's up? I noticed you.
Yeah.
He was like, he said, no, your set was great. He was like, but you need to get in some clubs. I said, what you mean? He was like, it'll help your pace and your timing. He was like, yeah. He said, you rocking. He said, but there's another level. That's another gear.
Yeah.
He was like, in that you're only going to get from these clubs. And I was like, whoa. And so it was one of those things when you go back and you rest.
Yeah.
And you sit with yourself and you're like, oh shoot, do you want to be the best version of yourself? All right, so I need you to work. I need you to challenge yourself. And I feel like I'm funny enough for the church and I'm funny enough for the clubs. And I had to get low, and I was like, I think I'm dealing with fear.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh yeah, we gotta defy that. So I told my buddy, I was like, man, book me the next club possible. And so they started booking me club dates, but when I realized it ain't no different, it was just people, and it was fine. But so one thing that I realized was, I ain't finished grad school, right? And I felt it in Birmingham on Friday night, and next morning I started laughing. I was like, oh shoot, we in grad school. I was like, we ain't in undergrad. We ain't in undergrad no more. And the reason why I said that, because undergrad, you can fake it.
Yeah.
You can fake it in undergrad.
Yeah.
You can just make it work.
Show up.
But in grad school, she knew when I didn't read the chapter.
It's focused on you.
She knew I didn't. When I did my presentation, she's like,
6 of y'all in the class.
Mr. Shropshire, she's like, Mr. Shropshire, I'm gonna need for you to read.
Yeah.
I said, huh? She said, yeah, your presentation let me know that you didn't read nothing.
Right. Just
I was
a
like,
whole bunch of words.
I just try to win her with, charisma. Little joke here and there. It's like, yeah, you need to read, Mr. Shropshire. Yeah, you need to do some research on him. I'm like, oh shoot. And I was like, oh shoot, you end up stopping grad school because it required effort. And I was like, uh-oh. Then I started looking at all the things I stopped because of effort. And I was like, I said, you see, you only made $400-500 at the show. And I was like, oh, you knew you could have probably made like $2,000 over here. And I was like, oh, we just need some effort.
Yeah.
We just got to apply ourselves.
In the right places.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. So, man, going back to the environment, people challenge you. And not just people challenge you, those people who are like really called to your life challenge you.
Yeah.
And you know where it's coming from. You know the motive of why they're saying it. It's like, so that's that's what really pushed me to not rest in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
To not rest in what's comfortable.
Sometimes people around you will help you be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They create that discomfort for you.
Dude.
They'll talk that shit to you.
Yep.
So you're gonna keep doing this?
Bruh.
This cool, but shit, what so what's next?
Yep.
What's next?
Yeah. Hey, you want me to tell you what's next?
I got a white guy named Jerry.
I'm about to say, you want me to tell you what's next?
I got a white guy named Jerry. Shout out to Jerry.
Jerry Springer.
He might as well. He throw them hands too.
Jerry
probably about 55.
Yeah.
And man, short little white guy I met. This dude was asking about my shows, and he was like, man, he was looking at my ticket numbers, and it was like a little low. He was like, why don't you just drive up to Richmond and sell tickets? Why don't you go and just do your, he was like, man, be relentless. Like, why are you making excuses for it? Yeah. And I was like, man, I've been seeing the people who are in my life, even in this part of like these no excuse guys. Yeah. Like, we get the job done.
Constant push.
Yeah, and so they don't even know the world of stand-up, but they know the principles of it. Like this Going to Get It has principles. Yeah. And they're like, bro, why ain't you doing X, Y, and Z? Why ain't you doing this? Why ain't you I'm like they see it from a different lens.
It's a different set of eyes.
Yes.
Sometimes you just got to get a different set of eyes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, look, I was just thinking maybe the cities that you have people to set up a day before, like let's say you had a gap between Birmingham and Atlanta. The day before, hey Wallace, hey Byron, hey Colbert, Dorsey, hey, I'm gonna set up shop. We're gonna try to sell tickets. Y'all open to come down? Hell yeah, hell yeah. Whatever you ain't sold, I guarantee you, we're gonna finesse some ladies or something.
So that's what I did all this weekend, because you know I'm curious to see what the numbers look like for the event tonight. But you know, I just went, and I feel like I started a little late in promoting because I was focused so much on my festival that we did, which is fine. But at the same time, I was like, man, we gotta get these numbers. So that's why we just went crazy with just running promos, you know, creating content. I did a church this morning, and so also utilizing that, I didn't want the churches to be like everything that I did, because I know I could. But also knowing that, hey, but I ain't we dumb now. I'm gonna still utilize that. I'm a clean comic. I'm gonna still boom, 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 boom. but I know the move is the clubs.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to hit these churches. Y'all come over to the club. Yeah, I still do a church show anytime. Now let's go. But at the same time, it's like we this the lane we gonna be in.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hit these churches, we're gonna hit these schools, and gonna hit it whatever, and we're gonna get this thing done.
So I know you gotta get ready to go, but the reason you gotta get ready to go is you have a show tonight.
Yeah,
you got a show on your tour, Necklace.
Yeah. So Necklace and Unashamed.
Give us a little something, man.
This is night. We night 2 of our tour, man. And it's still the same format of just telling our story on stage.
Yeah.
I was really, it's interesting about how stand-up is, and then really working on a new hour, your third hour of stand-up, and it's kind of hard to work on like a brand new hour when you feel like you're still getting started with people, because they haven't seen you,
right? So
like even tonight, I haven't really phased out of my last hour because I'm like, a lot of your fans that like rock with you ain't even heard the first part of you. Yeah. They still don't know the stories. They still don't know. It's like, oh man. So I try to have the same concept as the big boys in comedy, where they write an hour and they just throw it all away. And then they work on a new hour. Yeah, but because a lot of times they throw it away because they filmed it, taped it. Millions have watched it. Yeah, so it's hard for me to throw away an hour when you're like, there's like, man, I've been watching you for 10 years. I've been watching you since your daughter choked in the chicken wing video, and then I'm finally getting to see him live, and I'm like, oh crap! And it's like, I need you to hear part 1. So it's a little blend of part 1 and part 2 of my life. Where we're at.
Pique your interest to go back and watch part 1.
Yeah, and so that's what the goal is to. So we taped that special already. So we're waiting to get hopefully get that picked up. And
that was for the last hour, right?
That was the last hour. Okay. So that was like,
what was that called? I said, what was that called?
God Family Chicken Wings.
Yeah.
So that was.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, God Family Chicken Wings.
Yeah.
So that's the one we did the money dance and the Baptist preacher and all that. So
you
may do yep. So we'll probably do like a mixture of some of that and some of the new stuff that's happening in my world now.
Okay.
To kind of catch people up to speed, and then and also the fans be like, we've been rocking with you, want to hear something new, and so it's gonna be like a little blend tonight. So I tested it out in Birmingham, and then the other week I did something I haven't done before. We just booked out a space, 55-seater little theater in Charlotte, and I did a whole hour and 10 minutes of just brand new stuff, just to see what worked. Yeah, because it's interesting. Yeah, because you don't, when you testing out material, like you don't know, you don't know what works. Like it could be funny in your head until you try. You're like, oh crap. Yeah. Like I got this one joke I'm working on, and I'm glad I got it out my head. The story is funny to me, but I'm trying to figure out how do you get in joke form. Yeah. Is a church is something that happened at a church. But I always feel like everybody got that drunk cousin or uncle. Like everybody got that. Everybody got something. Everybody got a preacher in their family. Everybody got somebody still in their family. Everybody got that one hood person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got that one drunk uncle that drink a little more than everybody. It could be a cousin. And so my person, his name is Eugene. Okay. Eugene is he is a cousin, but he looked like he your uncle because he like good 50, 60, but he's still your cousin Eugene.
He was the first cousin.
Right. You don't know where in the line he is, but they just know that's your cousin Eugene. Yeah. Eugene gonna drink 5 o'clock. Eugene gonna drink all the way on to Sunday morning. Yeah. But the thing about Eugene, and you in the South, I don't care how hard he drink, he gonna be well on Sunday morning. Church. He gonna be at church. He gonna be pissy drunk on Saturday. I was like, he ain't gonna know anything. I'm talking walking on the street with no shoes on. I'm talking about drunk. This Eugene
looking for his shoes.
So true story. So
he drink here from this too.
Yes sir. True story. Eugene was in church. Went to church. And it was Men's Sunday, and Eugene got in the choir stand. And I said, oh, shoot. But you smell but usually Eugene can taper off to where he's like solid on a Sunday. He ain't pretty much 99% sobered up.
Right.
he must have missed his time this time. This joke, it smelled like Hennessy went past me, dog. We was like, woo! And he had a little pep to his step.
We in for a show.
And so they smelled it, boy. They smelled it too. And so they tried to corner him into like the corner of the choir down on the back row. And he was doing good for like the first 3 songs.
Yeah.
And they messed around and sung his favorite song. Eugene went down and grabbed the mic.
I knew.
I'm talking about, and dude, it like a movie. So I'm working on trying to craft that. I tried that, my little pop-up that I did. It ain't really hit the same. Like, I was like, but it's like one of those things, like, I know it's there.
Yeah.
So I got to keep on, like, working that conversation. Like, how do I work that joke to where it works? So trying out, like, even now, like I'm testing that on y'all. You know,
I'm excited to see where it lands.
What did he
What is he about to do?
So like for me, because I'm a storyteller, it's like I got to tell a story almost 6 different ways to figure out which way it works. Because in my brain, I know this joint works.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out how do you say it to get the laughs. Now it may work good in a conversation.
Right.
I was like, man, that's funny. Like, everybody got to, but like, how do you say it to the point where it's stage? Or it's just the fact it's stage worthy. Yeah. Like. That's why he said, oh my God, that's why it's part of his special. Yeah. So it's like, you got to find those rooms and those spaces. And that's why I couldn't go to open mics to do this the way I do my material, because this ain't no coffee club or just bar type of jokes. These stories, this like sit down in a living room, hear me out for about an hour, let me know which 20 jokes, which 5 jokes work. Yeah. So it's like we're in that space, you know. So we don't use these shows to have those conversations and do them, and we're getting ready for our bigger show today, and we excited about booking our first theater. So going back to that vision that I saw, the lower deck of people, the upper deck of people. And I was like, hey, and one thing I was challenging myself on too was like, especially the whole comedy club and church thing was like, hey, Shrop, you put yourself in churches because that was comfortable for you. And I was like, when you saw that vision, what was you weren't in no church. Right. That was a theater. Yeah. What's the pipeline to theaters? It's comedy clubs. Yeah. And so I was like, so I set out these comedy clubs, and I was like, and then this is like the faith thing, the challenge thing that we did was if that's what you believe the vision was, let's go ahead and grab it now. Let's do it now. Go ahead and book you a theater. Don't wait for the theater to call you. Book your own theater. Yeah. Like, go chase what you saw. And so that's why we're doing 16 shows, but 15 of them are clubs, and one of them is in a theater, and we're going to end in a theater. So 1,100 seats.
Where you end at? Back home?
Yep, in Charlotte.
In Charlotte?
Yep, 1,100 seats. So I ain't never sold nothing like that ever in my life. So I'm like, I love it. And I'm keeping an eye on this clock. Good. How are you gonna build up momentum? Because honestly, I'm sitting here thinking one of my favorite comics right now is Alisa D. Mm-hmm. And Alisa, like, he do everything on his own. Like, it's me. Mm-hmm. And one thing that actually got me hooked was, I guess maybe his older special, his older jokes. Mm-hmm. He put them out on YouTube, and they can watch the story, because it's hard for like that 15 seconds. Don't mean for me to understand the context of what this joke is hitting, but to hear that story and then it land, I was like, I gotta see another one. Yep. How can we help? But then also, how are you planning to build that momentum to that 1,100 seat theater? Man, I think it's a matter of, if I'm answering your question correctly, I think it's just more of it's just putting those reps in. Yeah. You know, it's putting those reps in and getting your audience comfortable with just pulling up and showing up. It starts with the little stories. It starts with the stories that I have now. And like you know, when I was in Birmingham, you know, I had like my pace of my jokes were, you know, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, no, we're going to slow down. Yeah. We're going to talk. And I want to see will they hang with me. And you'll realize when they locked in with you, you'll see it tonight. Yeah. Like, I intentionally slow down the show. Mm-hmm. Like, I literally go in autopilot for a little bit. Yeah. Just to go deep dive into a story. And it's really for me. Yeah. To because that's what I was scared of doing clubs. So I just thought I had to be boom, 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 knock them dead, knock them
Keep
dead.
everybody attention the whole
Man,
time.
they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
They here to
That's
see
what I was
you.
about to say. They locked in. They here
Yeah,
for a reason.
that's what I was about to say. That storytelling portion is what.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
like,
I'm waiting.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that story.
I'm waiting for Eugene.
Hell,
Yeah.
But-
I don't know who do Eugene tonight. Eugene ain't ready yet.
I got you.
Eugene ain't ready yet.
One of the things you said is like with the storytelling, like it seemed like it would make it easier. But like you said also, how can I make this into a joke
Yep.
where it lands?
Yep.
But I think the storytelling portion is what makes people, like when you get them going, you slow pace them, they can be like, yeah, I got that.
Yep.
Dog fight, wolf fight.
Yeah. Like, but I feel like jokes are funny, but you can forget them.
Yeah. Man,
Stories, they're unforgettable.
Yes.
listen,
Yes.
It's like, boy, he's got that motivational speaking. Like, you can motivate a kid, or you can tell them that story.
bro, I
And
was
you
about
like,
to say,
ooh.
it's people who tell stories, and you go back and tell that joke story to somebody else. Whereas with a joke, like you said, people forget jokes all the time.
Yep.
Like I see little clips, and I be like, damn, that shit was funny.
Yep.
Can't remember
Can't
that shit.
remember
but I
nothing.
don't remember who it was.
Yep.
But like you said, Ali Sadiq. We was talking about that one day, and I was like, oh, talking about when he was talking about fighting his son. Bro, that man told a joke about boxing his son.
Come on.
And we was me, him, and Brandon
Let's
was
go.
repeating this shit.
Yep.
And I was like,
Yep.
bro, it's nothing like the art of storytelling.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And I didn't even know, and so it's so much work that I have to do. Because now being in this version of comedy, I'm really challenging myself to be a student of the game. And because it's getting to the point now, like, I don't like when someone shares to me about another comic and I don't know who that person is. They can say, man, oh yeah. I mean, and again, this is like an Italian guy talking about, hey, such, and I'm like, and I gotta go along with, oh, okay, yeah, that's your favorite, yeah. And my mind like, I don't even know who that man is. And I was like, you gotta find it.
Yeah.
You gotta research that person. Like challenging yourself, like just being a student of the game. Like I didn't even know that I was a storyteller until somebody told me I was a storyteller. Because I didn't know there was different types of comedy.
Yeah.
But that's just how mine came out.
Yeah.
Like, and then I was like, is it okay for me to do comedy like this? Because I'm like, this is what's comfortable for me. I'm not no punchline, set up punchline, boom. Like, no, I do improv and I just do stories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, so I was like, okay, so now that I'm learning that I'm a storyteller, I challenge. I hear Trevor Noah.
For sure.
So I heard Trevor Noah say he was in an interview. I think I'm not sure if it was one that he did with Kevin Hart in the Comedy Gold joint, but it was about like how did he get material? Because at the time he was at the Daily Show, and he was like, well, Daily Show is all politics. He said my stand-up is about my life.
Right.
He was like, so how do you still have enough material? He's like, well, he was like, he said, politics gonna keep on giving me content. He said, but if I stop living, I stop getting content for me.
Yeah.
He said, so I force myself to live and explore, be adventurous, because at the end of the day, that's my material.
Right.
So I remember I was debating about going to Africa now because the wife wanted to go to Africa, go to Ghana, and I was like, bro, this. First of all, y'all planning a Ghana trip in February to go in April. I'm like, hey, dog, we need a year. I need some time. We ain't ready. Nobody ready. And her brother's an NFL 12 years. Sister's doctor. Her sister on like 2 day daycare. She a nurse. I'm like, they can do whatever. I said, no. I need my 12 months.
Right.
So I'm like, man.
Preparation.
And I was telling him, I'm like,
February.
I was like, we ain't going.
Right.
And what made
that's my foot now.
What made me go was what Trevor Noah said. Was like, go for the experience. I was like, go for the materials, Rob. Go to Ghana because that's another 12 minutes of stand up.
I better hear some African story tonight. Because I done told my wife recently, like, look, you know what we just did.
Yeah.
We're not going nowhere. We're not going.
We ain't going to the damn farmer's market.
But living creates the stories.
Yeah, I believe that.
Exploring creates the stories.
My wife don't listen, so we good. Keep talking.
It creates the stories, man. Having kids and the journey and so that's what keeps me sometimes to not like throttle back on life.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, oh man, we need to go after it. All right, go. Like, all right, man, you just never know.
You think about you were in admissions. Them kids had to be fucking, excuse my language, had to be hilarious.
Yeah, you already know.
Playing football, bro.
Yeah.
Like I like,
A&T at that time.
Listen, like I know you if you really stopped and just like
Yeah. And it's about even in like embracing the call is more than just saying, yeah, I'll do it. It's everything associated with it, and like what you just mentioned. So that's just embracing solitude.
Yeah.
And it's weird because the very things I struggled in are the very things that I need to be successful at comedy. One was writing. Like our English teacher was like, it takes you a long time to say what you're trying to say. And I was like, oh, and I just like ran from writing, not knowing that I'm a writer. That's all I do now is write. I'm like, oh crap. So like, boom, and dive into that. Don't go away from that because I'm not strong at it.
Yeah.
I hate being by myself. Like and even if I'm not by myself, I wouldn't say I hate being by myself. No, I take that back. I don't have a problem with myself. I don't like solitude.
I was about to say that silence, that quiet.
That I need people.
Yeah.
If you said Shrop go to 20 cities right now, or for the next 20 days, man, I'm like, let's go. But if you said Shrop go write for 20 days
By yourself.
in that room right there,
Like that.
I'd be like, hey dog, hey somebody, hey, like, because in my
Call it
brain,
here.
but right,
Come
you
on,
was
let your boy-
finding stuff to
Yeah,
do, and I was
yeah.
like, oh shoot, and I'm realizing, dude, if these are the little things that are in your way that stop you from being great, if you learn how to embrace solitude, and there's a reason why you got to do it. So I just started studying authors, and they say the same thing too. Like, bro, man, I'm trapped in my office for 6 months. But the joy of when you hear the feedback of somebody reading your book.
Yeah.
And I was like, boom. So that's why I was like starting considering playing certain sports, like golf, things that challenges my brain to like sit there for a while.
Yeah.
Because it's grueling for me to even think about golf.
Yeah.
I'm like, heck no.
I'm all in right now.
I'm like, heck.
it takes
I'm in the
some
airport. The guy that's the president of the PGA Tour in Greensboro was like, Shrop, huge fan.
Yeah.
Are you coming? I'm like, coming where? It's like,
Just give me the mic. Y'all do the golf part.
I'll be there.
That's one thing that I've learned just in my life. God is gonna take whatever you feel the most uncomfortable with, the thing that you just absolutely hate. He's gonna make it so that you have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I told you, like, bro, when I was young, I used to stutter. Stutter like I didn't even want to talk. Like, I played quarterback when I was little, right?
Bruh,
If they was running a play in from the side, I would just tell them
To say the play. Because this play clock gonna run out.
bruh. That's hilarious,
It ain't no
right?
telling how long it takes to get this out. But
In my brain, I was like, that is the funniest thing.
but-
Dude, that's a
But
skit.
it's crazy. But if I don't embrace, if I don't get to a place, like one of the things I had to tell myself was, this is where you're the most comfortable. If you can't be comfortable enough to talk to these dudes, and this your family,
Yep.
right? Like I used to tell kids that all the time. Like, you see these people that you play sports with more than you see your family. You go to practice, stay for 3 hours. You go home, see your mom and your dad for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you do that 4 days out the week. Then you go
Plus
play
Saturday.
football with them. Right. So you see them more than you see your family. How much more comfort do you need?
Let's go.
God is like, hey, until you address this discomfort, we can't move you on to the next step. You got to. So with your solitude, you got to address it.
Bro.
You got to address it. Once you address it, you'll see what you do. Your comedy go to the next step.
Next level.
Like you said, I walked out on this stage, I was uncomfortable. You go out there, you get comfortable with it. Next step. The churches was your comfort zone. We moved to the next step. Here I am on stage. I hate it, but until I address it, I can't do the theater. I can't do the theater.
Can't live a dream.
Because we talking about a club, 50, 60 people. 1,100?
Yeah, man, hold the ball game.
Bro, don't even put me on a screen in front of 1,100.
Let's go to work.
Hey, we always, and we about to head out of here, but we
Yeah.
always like to end with our guests giving the opportunity. The show is called Dropping Dymes, to leave our viewers, what's one final dime you like to leave them with?
Final dime, man. You know, I think the biggest thing is don't let fear get in the way from what you called to do. Don't let self-doubt, don't allow yourself to sabotage where you are supposed to be. And embrace it. Be relentless. We talked about environment today, and some people may say, "Hey, well, I don't have an environment." Well, create one. You know, put yourself in. I started placing myself into circles that will challenge me. Even if the environments that didn't naturally come, and I place myself there. Just like I wasn't scheduled to be at a theater. We placed it in there because I know that now that shocks purpose right there.
Yeah.
It like oh, and now everything now is gonna go off of that pendulum swing, off of that one. So it's not I can't go back to normal. So I can't do a theater in Charlotte, North Carolina, then all of a sudden just go back and do a comedy club in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah. No, we going boom. So the next thing's like, my next thing's gonna be like, all right, what's the next theater we can do in another city? What's the next theater we can do in another city?
Right.
So we hear all the time, man, if you have to create the wave, create it within your own self. You know what it is that you are called to do. You got to live it yourself. Don't sabotage your dream. Embrace it. Don't let fear rob you of what God has created you to be. So,
Talking to me.
that's it.
Listen, that meant, I was about to say 8.
Sure, but not.
Hey, go get it. Go get it.
Man, we really appreciate you coming.
Really appreciate it.
Spending this time with us.
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Like you don't even know. You preach a sermon.
Hey.
You don't even know.
Thank y'all for y'all.
You literally came in here and preached a sermon, man. Like, and the only reason I was interjecting is because it was better than me just saying amen.
Yeah, that's what it works.
So, hey, man, we really appreciate you coming out. Hey, tell them where they can find you, man.
Hey, man. Tim Sharp Comedy on all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything. YouTube. And we put out weekly food reviews. We put out skits. We put out some stand-up clips. And we just overall just love to make people laugh, have fun. So that's where we at. I'm on tour. We got 16 cities on our tour. And so all that's on our website, on our social media. And hey, if I'm in your city, man, pull up on me. That's all I say.
Pull up on him. Check.
Yeah.
So we're gonna post the schedule too.
Yeah.
Y'all pull up.
Look, that's what I was about to say. Go in there, check him out.
Yep.
See what city, see where he coming, and you can get to him.
City near you, man.
Yeah, any city near you. Shit,
Yep.
They don't got to be near you. Take a road trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take
Yeah.
that drive.
Make it a trip, man.
Yeah, we had, but that's been happening. We was in Birmingham, and like a family of like 8 came from Memphis. That was 3 hours away. And I was like, man, that's love. So,
Yeah, it is.
So hey,
Listen, again, we appreciate you, brother. We have found out where we can find you.
yeah,
I'm about to be on it because I want to hear the jokes that because shit, I felt I like.
let's go.
Yeah. So man, hey, swing by www.droppingdymes.com, dimes with a Y. Check us out. Pick up a shirt. Pick up a hat. We got the toasters coming.
Toasters,
and
man.
we about to go.
See
And
you
we about
every
to
breakfast.
go couch covers with the big D on them. You heard?
He loves saying that, don't he?
So you know what it is.
That's clean. That's clean.
That's but if all hearts and minds are clear, man.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want you to know, if you don't, that you are a prophet. The 2 times that I've talked to you probably in the last, like face to face in the last 10 years, have had impact on my entire life moving forward. So I know you've done that to me. I know you've done that to somebody else. So we appreciate your voice, even all the way back to A&T. I appreciate your voice, your mind. Continue to give it to us, brother.
Hey, all of them don't walk around with a shroud on, and everybody ain't standing in front of a mic in the pulpit.
Yeah,
You can literally get your word from anywhere.
you sure can.
If you apply it the way that you want to apply it, you can literally get your word from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it don't take the traditional.
Yeah, people like, you missed your calling. Like, nah. This guy was like, this dude was like, man, you need to start preaching. I was like, come to a show. I was like, you get the word.
You get the
There you
word.
go.
You get the word.
You need.
And you get tired at the show.
Yeah, let's
There you
go. Let's go.
As always, man, we appreciate you. We love
Appreciate you, man.
Come back and holler at us. Even when Shrop ain't here.
Yeah.
Come back and holler at us.
I keep on support my brothers, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, we appreciate it, bro.
All love, baby.